Hello, I am Dr. Akanxa Bhatti. In this video, I would like to discuss the hair transplant protocols for grades 6 and 7 male pattern baldness. Often those who suffer from extensive baldness end up having several doubts regarding what would be the best option for them to have a head full of natural looking hair. Well, unfortunately, these patients end up being victims of technician-run hair transplant clinics who promise them a hairline similar to that of a movie star's and end up ruining the donor area at the back of the head. Consequently, these patients are left disheartened as the best of doctors cannot undo the harm caused to them. So what could hair transplant have in store for you? What should you expect out of a hair transplant and what should you not expect out of a hair transplant? When we plan a vacation, for example, we pre-book a hotel room, make a list of things that we would like to carry, and also plan how we're going to get to our destination before commencing our journey, isn't it? In a similar way, a hair transplant procedure needs to be well planned with due research and medical opinion. A hair transplant procedure in each of these grades would follow the same set of principles. Firstly, the donor area needs to be stable and should not show any signs of progressive baldness, which means there should not be any hair thinning or miniaturization at the back of the head. There should be sufficient donor hair and there should not be any retrograde alopecia or reverse balding neck upwards, restricting the width of the permanent donor area region. Due to this reason, in young patients with extensive baldness, I would not advise a surgical approach till they are at least 27 years of age, as their donor area can still be affected by future balding. Secondly, these patients often require at least 2 FUE sessions, if not more, to achieve the desired density or to cover the entire area of baldness with grafts. Those who are above 40 years of age can greatly benefit through a combination of both FUT and FUE methods, which would increase the yield of grafts by 20 to 30% in just one session, instead of performing 2 FUE sessions 6 months apart. However, scalp skin laxity and donor area density still have to be considered. To increase the yield of grafts, body hair transplant, popularly known as BHT in its abbreviated form, is done in those individuals who have a dense beard or a chest full of thick hair. Yes, many of you might be curious about the sites from where these grafts can be taken. Well, I personally prefer picking up grafts from the shadow areas of the beard so as to avoid even minute scarring over the face or from areas of the chest. In my practice, beard grafts are placed in a ratio of 4:1, which means 4 scalp grafts are placed adjacent to one beard graft. This easily hides the coarse nature of beard hair and gives a very natural look. To conclude, patients with grades 6 and 7 baldness need to undergo proper counseling so as to ensure that their expectations are in sync with their goals and objectives. At times, patients with grade 6 and mostly with grade 7 baldness fall short of the required number of grafts. Thankfully, there are other options available for them. For example, hair pieces, hair fibers, and even micropigmentation. There is no limit to the number of grafts which can be used in grade 6 and 7 baldness. However, a reasonable coverage requires at least a graft density of about 40 centimeters square in the front and say about 20 to 35 centimeters square at the back in the crown region. If this is not practical to achieve in a patient, I refuse to do a hair transplant since I believe that it is very unfair for the patient to invest so much of his time and emotions in a procedure which might not live up to his expectations. So here I would like to conclude the series on grades of baldness. If you've not watched my previous videos, please do consider going through them, as they would be really helpful in gaining some insights regarding hair transplant. Also, if you still have any questions, please feel free to comment in the comment section below. Have a wonderful weekend ahead. Thank you.